11 News starts with breaking news.
Major breaking news this afternoon. Governor Tom Wolf just announcing all adults in Pennsylvania will be eligible to schedule a COVID vaccine appointment starting tomorrow. That is just under a week ahead of schedule. The governor said in a statement, we need to maintain acceleration of the vaccine rollout, especially as case counts and hospitalization rates have increased. The Department of Health says there is appointment availability to handle everyone, even as the state moves into Phase 1C today. Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond found out just how busy Allegheny Health Network has been in the race to vaccinate.
Vaccine eligibility opened up to an additional 1.5 million Pennsylvanians today. And as you can see right behind me, people sure did line up, especially for this clinic hosted by Allegheny Health Network today.
AHN has done now over 275,000 inoculations so far.
AHN anticipated vaccinating a total of 6,000 people today in Phase 1A, 1B, and 1C. Included in 1C are bank tellers, government workers, and public health employees. We have a full list for you on WPXI.com. And between the two clinics this weekend and today, AHN will have vaccinated about 20,000 people.
As you've seen in the county, we've seen an increased number of positive tests come back, and also increase in hospitalization and across our hospitals in the past couple of weeks. So we're excited to move forward with all adults and vaccinating as many people as possible, as quickly as possible.
And of course, Pfizer, it's 16 and up, and Moderna, it's 18 and up. And we were looking around to see if we could find any young ones that were showing up for the vaccine. We spoke to a 16-year-old today at 5. Hear what he has to say about kind of the skepticism his generation is having about the vaccine, and what a doctor had to say about it, too. Reporting in Monroeville, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
And we have extra coverage online, including links to register for vaccination. You can find it on our WPXI News app. A live look now at Storm Tracker. Doppler 11 radar showing showers pushing through, with another line moving in later today. Meteorologist Scott Harbaugh is tracking it all.
Yeah, Gordon, temperatures right now really cool. Not going to budge much because of those rain showers. A lot of cloud cover on tower cam right now, but dry in the city of Pittsburgh. Here's Storm Tracker, Doppler 11 radar in motion. If you're with us this morning on Channel 11 Morning News, told you late morning, early afternoon, we'd start to see coverage of this really expand, and the possibility of a thunderstorm in a spot or two. Now, steadiest rain is going to be north of the city. This is where we'll see several waves of rain come through during the day today. Notice on Storm Tracker, these little pockets of orange that show up. Could be a clap of thunder in a spot or two, possibility of even some small hail in a couple locations. And then by this evening, really begins to fall apart once we get past sunset tonight. So taking that walk this afternoon, carry the umbrella with you. Of course, if you hear thunder, head indoors as quickly as possible. I'll be putting together some maps on the potential for thunderstorms later today. I'll have that for you coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, thanks, Scott. 2 adults and 3 children escaped a fire at a mobile home in North Fayette Township. The flames sparked at around 7 this morning on Country Club Drive. 3 pets died in the fire. The cause is under investigation. The Red Cross is now helping the family with a place to stay. Pittsburgh police are investigating a deadly shooting in Brighton Heights. Several 911 calls came in around 2 this morning, and officers found the victim collapsed in the doorway of a home on Terman Avenue. Police canvassed the area for several hours. The victim's name has not been released, and so far, no word on an arrest. The Minnesota National Guard has been deployed to a Minneapolis neighborhood where an officer shot and killed a young black man during a traffic stop yesterday. The shooting was just 10 miles from where George Floyd was killed. And there is breaking news in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. The judge has declined to sequester the jury in the wake of yesterday's police shooting. The trial is now in its 3rd week. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez has more on the rising tensions.
Overnight, outrage boiling over in Minnesota. With tensions already high during the Derek Chauvin murder trial, now new anger sparked when a police officer fatally shot a black man Sunday during a traffic stop in Brooklyn Center, a Minneapolis suburb just 10 miles away from where George Floyd was killed. Police say the man had a warrant out for his arrest, and when officers tried to take him into custody, he got back into his vehicle. Then one officer shot him. Relatives identify the man as 20-year-old Dante Wright and say that after he was shot, Wright drove several blocks before crashing his car.
He said they pulled him over because he had air fresheners hanging for him in there.
Frustration mounting quickly.
Dante, he was a good kid, and just like George Floyd, it doesn't matter what you do, You don't deserve to be murdered.
Police and activists facing off at the scene.
We have been tracking both shots fired and break-in calls in Minneapolis.
Authorities say there were reports of rocks and other objects thrown at officers, as well as shots fired near the police department, prompting the deployment of more National Guard members to a region already on high alert. Minnesota's governor tweeting overnight, "Our state mourns another life of a black man taken by law enforcement." It all comes as the prosecution is now preparing to rest its case against Chauvin as early as today.
Floyd has this great, deep Southern voice.
The jury already hearing from 35 witnesses over 2 weeks, including unprecedented testimony from police officers breaking the blue wall. Also, medical experts insisting George Floyd did not die just because of drugs and underlying medical conditions, as the defense has argued.
There's no evidence to suggest he would have died that night, except for the interactions with law enforcement.
Floyd's family is now bracing for another emotional week in a case the world is watching.
This has been a very difficult time, especially these past couple of weeks. So we are just grateful for everybody that's here to support us.
As Gabe Gutierrez reporting, it's not clear how many witnesses the defense will call once the prosecution wraps up. The biggest question, will Chauvin testify? Legal experts say that would be highly unusual. 3 officers were wounded and a suspect killed during a chase about an hour outside of Atlanta this morning. Investigators say they tried to pull a car over and the driver sped away. During the chase, they say shots were fired from the car at state patrol officers, then other officers who joined the chase. A second suspect was taken into custody. We're working to learn more about an underground explosion on the north side that injured a Duquesne light worker. This happened yesterday in a manhole on New Beaver Avenue. Police say there was some type of explosion and the worker was taken to the hospital with burns to his face. Duquesne Light tells us a cable failed. The Pittsburgh Public School District says it does not have enough bus drivers. The district won't have enough buses for everyone when all students return to class on May 3rd. Families are being told to find their own transportation or their child might have to stay home and continue remote learning. PPS needs 350 more drivers by the first day of school this fall. The U.S. set a new record over the weekend for getting COVID shots in arms, but more than 30 states are now seeing a rising number of cases with more contagious variants growing. NBC's Alice Barr is in Washington with more on the call for more doses to help stop the spread.
The race between vaccines and virus variants taking on new urgency as COVID cases are on the rise, especially in the Midwest. At the epicenter in Michigan, the governor is asking for more vaccine doses.
What's happening in Michigan today could be what's happening in other states tomorrow, and so it's on all of us to recognize we can squash where we're seeing hot spots.
The Biden administration so far sticking to its plan of doling out vaccines based on population.
When you take it away from one state, you never know where you're going to have another surge.
The U.S. setting a new record, 4.6 million shots in arms on Saturday. More than 1 in 4 adults now fully vaccinated. But with the more contagious UK variant spreading, some hospitals are again stretched thin.
Now that we're seeing upticks after each holiday, it's taxing, it's exhausting.
The Biden administration is vowing to get to the bottom of exactly what happened in China at the start of the pandemic.
In order to have the best shot possible at preventing it from happening again.
The U.S. Secretary of State blaming China for not being transparent, allowing the virus to spread around the world. He's calling for greater international cooperation to head off any future threats. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
People who lost a loved one to COVID-19 could get money from the federal government for funeral expenses. As our Jacqueline Fell explains, the application process starts today.
Eligible families could get up to $9,000 reimbursed through this COVID program. It's being ran by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA. I'm told the agency has about $2 billion to give out. FEMA has set up a funeral assistance phone line to begin reimbursing families. It's 844-684-6333. No online applications are being accepted. Anyone who applies will have to provide several types of documentation, including receipts and a death certificate. The cost for funeral arrangements can add up to $10,000 or more.
As if the emotional part of it wasn't enough, to shell out that much money is just incredibly tough.
Expenses for funeral services and internment or cremation can include a casket or urn, a headstone or marker, and officiant services. More than 560,000 Americans have lost their lives to COVID-19. The agency says scammers are already contacting families preemptively and pretending to be from FEMA. To avoid getting ripped off, know that FEMA won't contact you first. You'll need to be the one to reach out. In Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
We're getting a look inside an East McKeesport business that was damaged by a fast-moving fire over the weekend. These are pictures from inside Leah's Floral Shop on 5th Avenue, taken after Saturday's fire. The owner and 3 employees were inside when that fire started. It also spread to an apartment next door. The man who lives there made it out safely, but we're told his cat did not. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. Police have arrested 4 teenage girls after they say the girls intentionally set a home near Johnstown on fire. The girls range in age from 12 to 14. Police say they set the fire last weekend because they were bored. They were identified when Snapchat videos surfaced. No one was inside the home at the time, but a police officer and firefighter were sent to the hospital for injuries. The girls are now facing charges in juvenile court. The United Steelworkers Union strike against Allegheny Technologies is no closer to ending. ATI is calling on the union to let its members vote on the company's contract offer. It's the same offer the union rejected last month, prompting the strike. ATI says the offer is fair. The union maintains ATI has not addressed what it's called unfair labor practices. The head of the Federal Reserve is optimistic about the U.S. economy. Speaking on 60 Minutes, Jerome Powell said widespread vaccinations and strong policy will help create more jobs and speed up economic growth. He also expects interest rates to remain at historically low levels into 2023. Powell also said the biggest risk to the economy is a 4th wave of COVID.
Showers developing across the area. I'll pinpoint where you can hear some thunder this afternoon.
For the past year, kids have relied on Zoom to learn from home. How one teacher is improving virtual learning. And reports of people having bad reactions minutes after getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The reason one local doctor says there is no cause for alarm. There is some concern over possible side effects from the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. 3 states shut down clinics giving out the vaccine last week after bad reactions. Symptoms range from dizziness to nausea and fainting. We spoke with a local doctor who believes the J&J vaccine is very safe and one he still highly recommends.
When you look at the Johnson & Johnson vaccine in its entirety, the side effect level is very low. And this is something that we guard against by having people sit for 15 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes after a vaccine dose in order to make sure that they're okay.
The doctor says the majority of people are fine after getting the shot. It's 1 dose and it gets you fully vaccinated in 2 weeks compared to 5 weeks with the other vaccines. Meanwhile, new data shows adverse reactions to the COVID vaccine are extremely rare. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says fewer than 1 in 28,000 people who got a vaccine had serious reactions. Reports included data on 3 vaccines being used in the U.S. The health department is urging people to cancel any vaccination appointment they no longer need. They want you to get the first vaccine available to you. So if one pops up, take it, but don't forget to cancel if you already had an appointment for a later date. Just call the location and let them know that you've already been vaccinated. When someone is a no-show, it increases the chance of a dose being wasted. Senator Chuck Schumer is pushing for a quick release of funding for mental health. That's part of the latest COVID relief plan. He hopes making the money available sooner will help get resources to people who desperately need it.
The bottom line is this can't wait. This has been a silent, stealth illness, mental illness, that is dramatically increased with COVID. And if we let it fester, if we knew nothing about it, it will get worse.
Senator Schumer said there's $5 billion in the relief bill to help with things like anxiety, depression, and other mental conditions. Well, who says virtual learning has to be all Zoom meetings and online exams? One teacher is making it more like a video game. Reporter Jessica Lang takes a closer look at the virtual classrooms.
Whether it's art, history, or SAT prep, ScholarWorks immerses you in a virtual world of learning.
We've shown the world they can learn online. Now we need to tweak the method we're offering it through so we can really bring that delivery of instruction up to be engaging. And here's my thing, let's jump into their world instead of pulling them into ours.
Founder and president of ScholarWorks, Desiree Schell, has been a teacher for nearly 20 years. Now she's taking her hard-earned classroom lessons and building a learning experience of her own.
Let's say they've got some heavy-duty studying to do, and they would like to take advantage of our 3D model labs for all levels of science, 3rd to 12th grade, CCS aligned, core curriculum aligned. They would be able to come to campus and find those things.
In their island of learning, students have access to classrooms, one-on-one tutoring, and even virtual boat rides.
We are really looking to bring the joy back to learning.
For parents and students looking for extra educational resources, Schell says ScholarWorks works.
Please open your mind to the possibility of jumping into a gaming world that provides exactly what you're looking for in enrichment programs.
Earlier this month, the state relaxed COVID restrictions for restaurants. That means they can welcome more people, but it also means they need more workers and they're having a hard time finding them. According to the Trib, there are about 21,000 fewer restaurant workers in Western PA now than right before the pandemic. Some local restaurants have had to shut down dining and serve takeout only because of staff shortages. All Eaton Park restaurants are holding a hiring event tomorrow. The chain is looking to hire 750 team members. You can apply at any Eaton Park starting at 10 tomorrow morning. More people are flying in and out of Pittsburgh International Airport. Traffic is also up at Arnold Palmer Regional Airport. Both airports are seeing an increase in traffic similar to the rest of the country. According to our partners at the Trib, in one day alone earlier this month, security at Pittsburgh International screened 14 times as many people as that same day last year. Officials at Arnold Palmer say that they are in the best shape it's been in a long time.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Those rain showers have definitely started to break out on live storm tracker Doppler 11 radar. Even some areas of yellow and orange showing up, indicating some heavier rain. Now, no thunder or lightning yet, but I do expect 1 or 2 thunderstorms to try to pop as we go through the course of the day today. Could have a couple areas where we actually see a little bit in the way of some small hail develop across the region as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on that as we go through the course of the afternoon and into the evening hours. As a matter of fact, as we go through the day right now, temperatures in the 50s, going to kind of be stuck there today. Notice on the visible satellite, a lot of cloud cover around. That cloud cover is going to help to keep the temperatures down as well. Here's where the thunderstorms are possible through tonight. And again, peak opportunity for thunderstorms between about 2 this afternoon and 6 o'clock this evening, basically from Washington, Uniontown on north. Not expecting widespread severe weather, but as I said, any thunderstorm that does pop this afternoon could have some small hail with it. Obviously, by definition, a thunderstorm is going to have some lightning with it as well. Here's Storm Tracker, 1 this afternoon again, Pittsburgh north. That's where the crux of this is going to be. The farther south you go, it'll be a little less scattered. And the reason is the upper level support for this is up over the lake. So the closer you get to the lakes, the better chance you have of this stuff pinwheeling through this afternoon. Will be wet for the evening commute. If you're watching us on lunch break right now, keep in mind the ride home might have some showers with it, maybe even a thunderstorm. So you get some use at the windshield wipers. Once the sun starts going down, this really falls apart quickly. Skies will try to clear a bit tonight. We'll do partly cloudy overnight tonight, and temperatures will fall into the mid-40s tonight, and a decent start to the day tomorrow. Playground hours this afternoon, keep in mind, take an umbrella with you, and if you hear any thunder, head to shelter immediately or get in the car. Temperatures mainly in the mid-upper 50s all day today. Tonight, clouds in and out, 45 for the overnight low temperature tonight. Some spotty showers, especially this evening. Then tomorrow, not bad, clouds and sun, isolated showers. Most areas are not going to see rain tomorrow. Temperature a bit warmer too as we push up to about 64 degrees tomorrow. We'll see a decent amount of sunshine tomorrow, probably about 6 to 7 hours worth of sunshine tomorrow. And as we go through the course of the week, that's probably going to be our best looking day as far as sunshine, because showers return to the forecast Wednesday and Thursday. 5-day forecast with your weekend always in view. 61 for the high temperature Wednesday. Scattered showers, especially during the afternoon and evening. We'll keep some showers in the forecast Thursday. Notice the high temperature. Only 51 degrees on Thursday. Many areas won't get out of the 40s during the day Thursday. Friday, partly sunny, 58. A little bit of a warm up for the weekend. Partly cloudy on Saturday, 62 for the high temperature. Then Sunday, showers around at a high temperature near 66 degrees. Gordon?
All right, thanks, Scott. Remembering Prince Philip, how the royal family is opening up about the late Duke of Edinburgh. And COVID can make you lose your taste and smell. The new cookbook and the food you might want to avoid if you've had the virus. Zoning requirements are putting a hold on plans for the old YWCA building on Wood Street downtown. Developers want to turn it into a 24-story apartment tower with 300 units, but the city and other groups oppose the idea, citing traffic concerns and the current rule that only allows 141 units. According to the Pittsburgh Business Times, the City Club Apartments argue the rule is anti-future. The Butler County Housing and Redevelopment Authority is on a mission to tackle problem properties. The authority usually takes down about 15 blighted buildings a year, but the pandemic slowed its work in 2020. So to help out, the county just approved a request by the authority to use $25,000 in recorder fees to help pay for the work. A Bethel Park Police Department's K-9 is lending a paw to a young girl who's helping the homeless. K-9 G's is partnering with Socks with a mission. The goal is to collect socks for people in shelters and on the streets during the pandemic. The charity was founded by 11-year-old Audrey Wetterow. If you want to help, you can drop off socks until April 25th at several spots, including the Bethel Park Police Department and any True Value hardware store. There's a new cookbook on the market for people who have lost their sense of taste and smell because of COVID. It's called Taste and Flavor. The recipes use flavors like mint, wasabi, and cinnamon. The chefs avoid foods like onions and garlic. Those smells are often found to be repulsive to patients suffering from altered taste and smell.
Showers really starting to pick up. I'm tracking when you'll see the most rain in your neighborhood today.
Kids sports are leading to clusters of COVID. What health officials are telling schools to do if they're seeing a rise in cases. We continue to follow breaking news. As of tomorrow, all adults in Pennsylvania will be eligible to schedule a COVID vaccine appointment. That's just under a week ahead of schedule. Governor Tom Wolf said in a statement, we need to maintain acceleration of the vaccine rollout, especially as case counts and hospitalization rates have increased. Meanwhile, the Allegheny County Health Department just released an update on its new COVID cases and says they've learned of 717 new cases since Saturday, so that is a 2-day total. Scattered rain showers popping up on Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar with more rain expected later this afternoon. And Scott, those summer-like temperatures are gone for now.
Yeah, we're not going to see 80s for a while again. Temperatures this afternoon, much more seasonal for this time of the year. 52 degrees right now, and a southwest wind at 13. Definitely putting a little chill in the air. Here's the visible satellite. We've had a couple of breaks in the overcast, but not many. Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar starting to expand those areas of green, even a couple spots picking up some yellow, some orange, so a couple downpours. I have been checking. No lightning reports as of right now. Notice in Allegheny County some heavier rain over toward Oakmont, the Trona Heights right now. Just some scattered showers down toward Bethel Park. We will see these continue this afternoon. Best chance for a thunderstorm north of Pittsburgh. And keep in mind, quick flash of lightning, rumble of thunder possible in a couple of spots. I'm updating Storm Tracker to pinpoint when this is going to head out of the area. I'll have that for you coming up this half hour.
All right, thanks, Scott. Woodland Hills High School is still closed because of a rise in COVID cases. All in-person learning has been suspended until next Monday. They've seen 14 COVID cases since returning to the classroom last Monday. Only the high school will be closed. All other schools in the district will operate on a hybrid model. The West Mifflin School District says it's seeing an increase in cases as well. That increase is at the high school and Homeville Elementary. The district says those students will return to in-person learning tomorrow, extending remote learning for high school students by 1 day. The district also says it's revising its COVID tracker and shutdown markers. The CDC says youth sports are leading to COVID clusters. The agency is now telling communities with higher rates of spread to scale back. Health experts tell senior correspondent Blair Miller COVID variants could be playing a role.
With fears over a fourth surge of the coronavirus, health officials say one factor fueling a spread could be linked to kids. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention saying this week youth tournaments and extracurricular activities are creating clusters where the virus can spread among children, and now they're trying to offer solutions.
We're working to facilitate increased testing that is happening on the ground in the context of youth sports.
They point to various instances across the country. The CDC says a high school wrestling tournament in Florida was linked to 38 people who were infected. And in Minnesota, 68 cases were connected to youth sporting events. Officials now believe the virus variants are playing a role with spread, especially when it comes to kids.
It's acting differently from anything we've seen before in terms of transmissibility, in terms of affecting young people. So we have to take this very seriously.
While the CDC continues to revise guidelines for kids and adults, the vaccination rate is growing for those over 18. But it's raising new questions about kids and when they might be able to be vaccinated. At a recent hearing on Capitol Hill, Dr. Anthony Fauci laid out what parents of younger kids should expect.
We anticipate we'll have enough data to be able to vaccinate these younger children by the first quarter of 2022.
As Blair Miller reporting, the CDC is especially concerned about indoor sports, telling some states they should restrict those activities for now. Breaking now, state police have issued an Amber Alert out of Philadelphia for 2-year-old Byron McDonald. He was last seen on Friday and was reported abducted by Byron McDonald. McDonald is driving, those Byron McDonald II. McDonald is driving a 2017 red Chevy Malibu with tinted windows. It's unclear where they may be headed. The license plate is LMD 3353. If you see them, you're asked to call 911. There's a new weapon in the fight against drug overdoses. These are strips that can show if drugs contain fentanyl, and now federal money can be used to buy them. About 88,000 people died of drug overdoses in the U.S. last year, and many cases involve fentanyl, which is up 100% and is 100% more potent than morphine. This federal money will go to state overdose response programs. Advocates who help those affected by addiction say the test strips could save lives. Gary Mendel is one of those advocates. He lost his 25-year-old son, Brian, to his battle with addiction almost 10 years ago. Brian's last conversation with his dad sparked Gary's mission to form Shatterproof. That's an organization dedicated to helping end the stigma around addiction.
And he looked at me and he said, "Dad, I just wish that someday people would realize I'm not a bad person. I'm a good person with a bad disease."
It's up to each state to determine how people can get a hold of these test strips. It may be through health departments or community organizations. Preparations are underway in England for Prince Philip's funeral. Only 30 people will attend the private service Saturday at Windsor Castle. Over the weekend, the royal couple's children opened up about their father's passing, and NBC's Kier Simmons reports from Windsor Castle.
Flowers and heartfelt tributes this morning, while Prince Harry, after the hurt and division of the past few months, returning to the UK alone, to a royal family in mourning.
My dear Papa was a very special person.
Uniting around the Queen, following the loss of her husband of more than 7 decades.
She described it as having left a huge void in her life. However much one tries to prepare oneself for something like this, it's still a dreadful shock.
Prince Philip, a war veteran, proud patriarch and Queen's consort, lived his life in public, died Friday quietly and in private. It was right for him. So gentle, his daughter-in-law, Sophie Wessex, told churchgoers. It was like somebody took him by the hand and off he went. The family say the Queen is stoic, bearing up, thinking of others. On Saturday, she will say goodbye to her husband during a televised funeral with military honours and 30 guests. Meghan has not flown back with her husband this week, her doctor advising against it because she is pregnant. So Harry will face his family and the loss of his much-loved grandfather without his wife and son beside him. A day that will not be easy for any member of the royal family. Most of all, the Queen. And palace officials say all of the COVID rules will be followed for the funeral. For Prince Harry, that means that he would have to quarantine for 10 days, but he can be released from the quarantine after 5 days if he tests negative. He can also leave the quarantine on compassionate grounds. And Princess Anne, summing up the feelings of the royal family, saying of the death of her father, "You know it's coming, you're never really ready." Kier Simmons, NBC News, Windsor.
Still paying for it. One of the biggest complaints older millennials have about student loans. Students at Butler County Community College will have some extra help paying their tuition next year. According to Butler Radio, nearly a dozen new scholarships will be available, bringing the total to 142. One of the new scholarships is for nursing students in honor of Caitlin Kaufman. She was a Butler native who was killed in Nashville last year. Some millennials are turning 40 this year and still paying on their student loans, and for many, they regret their decision to borrow money. More than half of older millennials say their loans were not worth it. According to a recent Harris poll, those surveyed said they took out an average of just under $22,000 for their education. Just 32% of them have paid it off. That means at least 68% of older millennials are still paying. The total amount of student loan debt owed in the U.S. is about $1.7 trillion. More than 211,000 pounds of raw ground turkey produced by a company near Gettysburg may be at the center of a 12-state salmonella outbreak. The turkey was packaged under Plainville Farms, Nature's Promise, and Wegman brands. The USDA has stopped short of a recall, instead issuing a public health alert because the use-by and sell-by dates were in January. So they should no longer be in stores, but they could be in your freezer. If it is, you need to toss it or return it.
Showers breaking out on storm tracker Doppler 11 radar and pinpointing when the heaviest rain moves through your neighborhood.
And think, as the fine print state troopers say, you need to take a close look at. The Mont Inclines will be closed. Mont Incline will be closed for most of the week. The incline will be out of service Tuesday through Friday for routine cable replacement. Shuttle buses will be available between the upper and lower stations. They didn't need to take the incline over the weekend to clean Mount Washington thanks to some rock climbers. Climbers from the Explorers Club of Pittsburgh and Allegheny Mountain Rescue Group did a big cleanup project over the weekend. Dozens scaled and rappelled the steep slopes and the hillside to remove trash and litter.
It's really upsetting when you come up here and you see all the trash and everything that's been thrown because we enjoy the outdoors. We like being outside and enjoying nature as it should be.
Kind of seems like it might be fun, too. Volunteers at the top of the slopes sort out the litter, though. That's the not fun part. This is the 28th year for the cleanup. State police are warning drivers about littering. Before you sign your registration card, read the fine print. The card specifically includes litter laws. Over the last 2 years, troopers issued more than 2,200 citations. Littering fines in Pennsylvania range from $300 to $900, and sometimes those fines are doubled. Gas prices are holding steady near the $3 mark in the Pittsburgh area. That is still about 80 cents higher than this time last year. The good news is that analysts have changed their predictions. Instead of prices going up, they say they will likely remain stable or drop as we head towards Memorial Day. $3 a gallon seems like a bargain compared to what they're paying in San Francisco, just under $4. That is the highest in the country. The lowest is $2.50 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Showers right now on live storm tracker Doppler 11 radar. There's the live sweep from our radar site right on the Allegheny-Washington County line, scanning through Washington and Greene counties right now. A couple of heavier downpours have developed in Allegheny County. One passed just north of the city of Pittsburgh, McKeesport, White Oak, down into Elizabeth Township and Forward Township. You're picking up some moderate rain right now. Also, Cranberry Township rain really beginning to come down just north of 228. This is going to continue to pass over Franklin Road and over towards Middlesex Township in the next 10 to 15 minutes. And notice back to the west, more clusters of showers. So far, no lightning. I do expect a couple lightning strikes this afternoon. We're not talking big severe thunderstorms, but don't be surprised if you hear some thunder out your window or get a quick flash of lightning this afternoon. Just enough juice in the atmosphere to get that cranking despite the cool temperatures. That's just how cool it is aloft. At the surface, we're in the 50s right now. Temperatures aloft much cooler. That helps with the dynamics and getting those thunderstorms to possibly form this afternoon. Weather in a word today, showers. You get rain for 10 minutes, you get a break. You get rain for 15 minutes, you get a break. It's going to be one of those afternoons across the area. Notice on Storm Tracker, really the concentration is the heaviest north of Pittsburgh. That's where you have a little more coverage, a little more in the way of the yellow and orange, so the better chance of a thunderstorm. Pittsburgh, Greensburg on north as we go through the afternoon and into the early evening. Now, early this evening, any plans? Maybe the kids have a ball game, some practice after school. There will be some wet spots this evening, but it's not going to rain the entire evening. And notice once the sun goes down, we really begin to shut this off by 10 o'clock tonight. Pretty dry across the area. Again, thunderstorms, possibility this afternoon into very early this evening. Better bet is northeast of Pittsburgh, but even down toward Washington, Connellsville, Brownsville, Uniontown could pick up a quick clap of thunder. So make sure you have the Severe Weather Team 11 app. It's a free download at iTunes and Google Play. Our forecast for your neighborhood, you get the radar right in the palm of your hand, plus lightning alert so you know when to head inside. 57 for the high today with isolated thunder. Then tonight, just some spotty showers. We'll drop down to 45 degrees tonight. Normal lows 39, so running above normal for the overnight lows. 64 for the high tomorrow with a stray shower. Wednesday, I've taken rain out of the forecast. We'll start with some clouds, but looks pretty good during the afternoon. So I bumped the high temperature up to 67 degrees on Wednesday. Partly sunny skies. We'll get the showers in for Thursday, much cooler, 51. Friday, mix of sun and clouds, upper 50s and back into the 60s this weekend. Dry day on Saturday, scattered showers on Sunday.
All right, thanks, Scott. The New York Federal Reserve studied how Americans are using their stimulus money, and they found most are paying down debt and saving it. According to the survey, about 41% plan to put their payments towards savings, 33% toward debt, and 24% for spending. On average, 13% of the money is being spent on essential items and 8% on non-essential items.
Hey, everybody. I have something that you have loved so much. We have not been able to keep it in stock, but we're bringing it back and we're making it better, and here's how it goes. Wrinkles Schminkles is a name that makes you smile, but a treatment that makes your skin really, really happy. They're known for these medical-grade silicone patches. Did you know, so this is the décolletage, right? Right here. Over 97% of the women who have used these have seen an amazing difference in their skin. How great is that? Medical grade silicone, no chemicals, no side effects, actually uses what's in your skin to help make your skin more hydrated, more beautiful, more smooth, looking better than ever. And it doesn't seem to matter where you have an area you want to improve, we have something for that. So if you want to improve your décolletage, we have it. Neck, we have that. Something around your eyes, we have patches for that. Around your mouth, we have patches for that. On your forehead, we have patches for that. Your hands, we have patches for that. So we really have these amazing treatments, by the way, made right here in the USA, so you know they're the highest quality, and they're reusable 20 to 30 times. How great is that? Now, we all know that the celebrities do crazy things, and you can go to a spa and spend a lot of money. These are the amazing results, and you get them at home. But Gabrielle's the founder of Wrinkle Schminkles, and because we've partnered with her and you've loved her line so much, she's bringing us a full line, new packaging, and you're gonna have the option of these great sheet masks, peels, serum, the whole 9 yards. So whatever the area of your skin is that you want to improve, we're gonna have a treatment for that. And right now on localsteals.com, all of this is 23 to 50% off. It is springtime. You want your skin to look amazing. You want to be able to do it from home. You want to be able to save money. We can do all that for you right now on localsteals.com.
History was made at the Masters Golf Tournament yesterday. Hideki Matsuyama put together 2 brilliant closing rounds at Augusta National to win by 1 stroke over American Will Zalatoris. It's Matsuyama's first career major win. It also made him the first Japanese-born man to win a golf major. The first big event at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center since the start of the pandemic went off without a hitch. People came out to see the hot rods and big trucks at the World of Wheels show. This was the first big event held there in a year. It took about 6 months to get everything ready. People we talked to said that they were just happy to get out of the house.
It's wonderful to be able to see other people other than the people at work.
Classic cars, hot rods, trucks, motorcycles, and race cars were all on display. A gambling site is looking to hire a baseball fan who really likes hot dogs. Website Bonus Finder says it needs someone to be its MLB professional food tester. The person they pick will get paid $500 to eat hot dogs and watch baseball games at Major League stadiums. You have to be at least 21 years old, love the baseball stadium atmosphere, and be able to critique the quality and complexity of a hot dog. If you think you have what it takes, you can apply at Bonus Finder's website. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.
This is Take 5, highlighting Western Pennsylvania's most innovative and successful businesses.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Take 5. I'm Joe Klimchak. Health coaching is our topic today. How having a nutrition coach can lead to a healthier lifestyle. That's our focus as we spotlight the nutrition program, Profile by Sanford. And back with us today is Profile coach Emily Allwine. Emily, thanks for joining us again. Let's start by talking about the role of a Profile coach. What exactly do Profile coaches do for their members?
So here at Profile, we believe that compassionate coaching can transform lives. We're here to support our members, guide them, educate them, and show them that together we can make weight loss simple, obtainable, and sustainable.
So, Emily, as a coach, you really are going alongside on this health journey with your client. Explain how one-on-one coaching makes a difference when it comes to weight loss.
So it's guaranteed support in your corner, right? With Profile, you don't have to do this health journey alone. Your coach gets to know you through consistent coaching sessions, allowing them to zero in on what you truly need in order to reach your goals. If at any time, should your motivation start to fade or maybe life gets in the way, your Profile coach is there to cheer you on and help get you back on track.
Sounds great. Let's talk results now. What kind of progress have you seen members make through the Profile program?
Yes. So with over 2 million pounds lost in total, our Profile members have proven that you can lose at least 3 times more weight working with a coach rather than trying on your own. In addition, we not only celebrate progress that's made on the scale, but progress that's made off the scale as well. For example, we just had a member who can finally put her wedding ring back on after years of not being able to wear it. So with Profile, we're really celebrating progress in all forms.
2 million pounds. Wow. Well, Emily, I'm sure being a part of so many success stories has to make your job really fun. So what would you say is the most rewarding part of being a coach?
Absolutely. So there are many rewarding aspects of being a coach, but one of the most rewarding, I would say, is our members allowing us to be part of their journey, therefore allowing us to be part of every celebration and every single barrier. Asking for help can be tough, so being able to watch every step of their journey is a true privilege.
Love it. Emily, well, as we wrap up, how about for someone watching right now who has tried to lose weight in the past without success? Other programs, maybe diet, pills, supplements. What would you say to them?
I would say your goals are obtainable. Your previous attempts that didn't work out, they're not a reflection of the potential of you to be your best self. I urge you to reach out to us here at Profile by Sanford. We want you to be part of our family, and we want to empower you to be your best you.
Sounds great, Emily. Thank you. Hope to talk to you again soon. Folks, if you're looking for a simple, safe, and sustainable weight loss program with compassionate coaching to help you reach your personal goals, call Profile by Sanford today, 412-948-7261, or learn more at profileplan.com. And that'll do it for this edition of Take 5. I'm Joe Klimchak. We'll see you next time.
This Take 5 is sponsored by Profile by Sanford. If you'd like your business highlighted in a future edition of Take 5, please contact us at 412-237-1181.